another review between the Jester and the Lady. Yes, I took that name from many comments I've been told about what he is.
Yes. Lady Jester.
And apparently our dog Kiki has decided to join us today. Hello, baby girl. She's right in front of me. The camera can't show
You know what
her.
I'm feeling today, bro?
I'll show a picture later. What?
I'm feeling spooky.
Why are you feeling spooky?
You know, I don't know. There's just something. It's like this. It's like, I can see it. Brenna. The spirit.
You're a dumbass. Oh my god. Yeah, we're reviewing The Spirit, and this is like the worst superhero movie that is supposed to be a superhero movie ever created. And I'm not talking about something by the Asylum. I mean like some major studio creating this besides Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Oh, that one was bad to the point that Deadpool was like, nope.
Mm.
So, funny enough, this is based on a comic book from the 40s, and let's just say that was more ridiculous, but considering the fact that they had a set time period, ridiculous. Ridiculous. That there's a set time period that it's understandable, like with the ridiculous of the craziness of it. Ugh.
Anyways.
So with this film, we don't know what the time period of it is. It's what?
It's at the mole clock.
Did you say mall o'clock?
Yeah, mole clock. Cause I have a mole.
I heard mall. Let's
Mall.
go to the mall today. And that now, my murder has been planned, so it's going to be like Carol Baskins. I'll probably be fed to the tigers.
Well, don't insult the tigers like that.
What about the jaguars? Matt Pratt has proven that.
Anyways, the spirit.
So, how does one describe the spirit?
I think the best way to describe the spirit is to describe it,
Even he doesn't know.
So, you take Marvel the Avengers, you don't hear me out.
No, I'm listening.
You combine it with what is it, Sin City, the black and white one?
Yeah, Sin City.
And then you add in that movie about the bean.
What
The
bean?
cartoon bean.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh no, I'm scared now. So the film starts.
Animated bean movie. Literally came up.
So the film starts with a little
Killer Beam Forever.
Is this going to be a running gag with you now with the beam?
They released a new one in 4K.
Oh boy.
If you want to watch Brenna react to
No!
Bean
No!
Forever,
No!
leave a like.
No,
and
I already
comment
have a
below.
long list.
It will be priority while I'm still here.
I hate you so much.
So anyways, the spirit.
You're going to be fed to the jaguars.
Oh honey, don't get the jaguars indigestion.
Okay, can we just at least start the plot?
There's a plot.
A semblance of a plot like this review.
So, plot is very important.
It is very important.
Noir, samurai movie, noir for a good while. Nazi Germany,
Mad scientist.
Nazi Germany,
No,
Noir.
seriously.
noir, and so anyway, so Brenna, you were gonna start out the film?
Okay, so this film does not know what it wants to be. It wants to clearly it wants to be a noir superhero film, but with everything that's pasted on the wall, you don't know what the heck is going on. Even at the end when they do explain it, it's still the most confusing thing ever. And we thought Bioshock Infinite was confusing.
Bioshock Infinite is not confusing.
It's not confusing, but with everything, like, but this, at least in Bioshock Infinite, you understand it. Here we don't.
Oh no, I was saying Bioshock Infinite is not confusing at all. It's very straightforward. Very straightforward. It's just quantum physics. Come on now.
Do I look like a physicist? Okay,
I mean, you have an English degree.
That's not a physicist. They're two separate things. And we need to start the plot because we've been pushing.
Start the plot then.
Then you stop interrupting me.
Okay.
Okay. So apparently the plot is the spirit is this guy who has regenerative superpowers. Kind of like Deadpool, but this is not Deadpool because he's not insane as Deadpool, though I beg to differ at times. And he has to fight this guy called the Octopus, played by Samuel L. Jackson, who literally, the reason he has that name is because he has 8 of everything. And we literally had to count out the outfits he had, and yes, he has 8 different outfits throughout the film to make sure that this is qualified. And also he has an assistant named Floss.
Is that what ScarJo's name ended up being?
Something Floss. And she just seems way smarter than him, but goes along with it. And it seems that she has a bigger plan in mind. And by the end of the movie, it is set up like there's supposed to be a sequel, but there's not a sequel. And meanwhile, the spirit has to figure out why one of his childhood sweethearts who came back is here, and why she's connected to the octopus. And meanwhile, he's attracting a lot of ladies to a point that he's cheating on his maybe girlfriend a lot by kissing the most random ladies, especially a woman named Plaster de Paris.
Plaster de Paris.
You don't even know what that is, do you?
Plastic Paris.
It's a type of material they use to make models for movie sets in the 40s.
I actually did know that. I just wanted to hear you explain it again so that way the audience would understand it. You're welcome. So anyway, so the movie starts out and we are going through black and white. You go through, because it has a bit of credits before everything starts.
And cats.
And cats. A lot of cats.
Better than Cats the Musical, the movie.
That's right, better than Catwoman. And so... Are you gonna laugh at all my jokes?
Maybe.
So we start out in a cemetery, much like Brenna. Anyways, and you get to see the silhouette, and you think for a split second, oh, this is going to be an interesting movie. And then the main character walks in frame, and you realize, and you go, oh no.
Especially when he's played by the same guy who plays Harvey in Suits, which he is a lot better actor in.
Yes. And so you see a phone call.
Dun, dun,
Hello.
dun. Timmy is stuck in a well. Oh no!
What the fuck? You're supposed to hold the phone.
Timmy is stuck in a well. Oh no!
Not stuck in well. Timmy. Villain.
Ah, fuck us, the octopus. Okay, I'll be right there. Where's my tie? It better
Watch
be
your
red.
language.
No.
This is a YouTube channel. You want to get monetized? You watch your fucking language.
Obviously, I put a warning before the video even starts, so I win.
I'm even crazier than that night.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it's been a minute, by the way, just to explain to you, so if we forget things that are in the plot, it probably wasn't important. It probably was, but we just forgot. It wasn't important.
Or we don't care, because it was really ridiculous to think about it.
Yeah.
Also, there is a hardboard cop in there who happens to be the father of the spirit's maybe girlfriend. And he throughout the entire film, every time those two are together in a scene, is only to talk about her relationship with the spirit. Nothing else. Nothing about a case. Nothing about anything else except for one point. But the spirit was also in the room with him. With them.
Who doesn't pass the Bechdel test? That's the test?
Bechdel test, yeah.
Bechdel?
It doesn't pass the Bechdel test because literally the two main women that are named do talk about a guy, but it talks about her employment with him. But I think I gotta look that rule up.
No, there's a certain point where they do talk about him.
Yeah, I know, but
the spirit, and it's like about, ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you get
Floss
this
kisses him and drugs him up too.
Yeah, I was gonna say you get this face from Scar Joe. That's what I'm gonna call Floss. Come on, don't insult her like that. Don't remind everybody the name of her person. It goes like this, and then keeps going with it.
Like at one point in the film, like when they're dressed up in SS uniforms, you can literally see her brain thinking, "Oh my God, why am I here? Why did I sign up for this? I should better get a better movie deal after this." And
I disagree with that. I think they had fun making this movie, legitimately.
Yeah, they did, but
so
I
much
think
fun making this movie.
I think they did have fun making this movie because of how crazy it is. But the thing is, I think at one point ScarJo was just like, "Why am I here again?"
Exactly.
Because I think.
I had to do the distraction. Anyways, go for it.
I hate you so much.
How dare you? That's little Richard. Also, Mom had the volume up really high.
They were watching a TV series before I took over.
That's right.
Okay, we gotta keep going because I feel like we've been distracting ourselves from the main problems of the film.
The film.
Yeah, the film is a problem. You go first.
So, we were talking, and so he gets the call, right? So, yeah, this was supposed to be me explaining the plot, because she said that was a good idea. It's not. So...
I just want to see your version of events.
My turn. So, we're going through. He gets the call, so he goes out in this big action scene. There's no color, it's black and white, except for a red tie. Goes out. Jumps through a window. Like, how the fuck are you supposed to fix that window anyways? Goes through the window. Follows through. I'm sorry, I had the image for the movie of him running nearby the gravestones with the cats nearby. It's so stupid.
Matt.
And then, so yeah, they go towards this lake, and you see... Crap.
He goes up
the plot.
So he goes up a telephone pole which showcases shoes are even colored up, which I thought it was snow from the ground.
Oh
but
my God. We sat there
it's
for half
not.
the movie, and I said, Brenna, look at his shoes. And she goes, it's just snow, Matthew. And then like we get to a point where there's no way it could be snow.
It's all mud.
And it's like muddy and everything, but the shoe bottoms are so perfectly white. And I went...
I honestly, I was just wondering, whose idea was that? Because it would have been interesting, yeah, the snow is also stylized, that it stuck to their shoes. So it would make footprints similar to, how paint up. How paint sticks to your shoes when you're walking with paint on your shoe.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no.
I'm not ballooning. Seriously, that's perfect.
Speaking of the mud scene, it's actually the first fight scene we get between the octopus and the spirit, and we gotta say this is the most funniest fight scene in the entire film, as well as that sets up the main problem between the two. Both of them are immortal, thus they can't get hurt, so you get the plethora of things coming from the mud, which we're wondering how the hell did he get in there.
By the way, this is the section where I'm going to run and use the bathroom real fast, and Brenna's going to keep talking about the plot, and then and hopefully she'll be done with the plot by the time I get back. And then we can talk about the true ridiculousness of this movie.
I'll try my best.
Yeah.
Go! Okay. So after the fight with included sinks, toilet, and at one point, Samuel Jackson gives a monologue about how they are the same. The spirit's like, we're not the same. The police show up, and they found out that his childhood sweetheart, Sans Seraph, literally that's her name, was actually at the crime scene due to one of the witnesses carrying her necklace that he tore from her. And then apparently there was a little switcheroo because the entire plot, and the reason why she was there, because she was supposed to get an item from this dealer who also sold the other half of the same thing, of two things, to the octopus, and we're supposed to have a rendezvous to get both of the items at the same time, and the items got switched. So Sans Seraph got this vase that has the blood of Hercules, or Heracles. Actually, this is the one thing I'm proud of. They actually used the right pronunciation. And then the octopus has gotten the golden fleece, something that Sans Seraph wants because it's shiny. Her whole thing is that she likes shiny sheets and she's a jewel thief. And as well as it was something that she admired since she was a little young woman or a little kid, I'm not really sure, like, and such. So the whole entire movie is trying to figure out why were they there, and it for the spirit. And it leads to cat and mouse chase. At one point, a very loud detective shouts out the basic psychological things of Sans Seraph, and then culminates to Floss kissing the spirit at one point when he finds her hideout in the sewer system and drags him up. And then we get Plaster de Paris come in and try to cut him up. And then ScarJo and Samuel Jackson dress up as Nazis, explaining their plan, which is still ridiculous, as it's pretty much him trying to become immortal, take over the world, but they decided to use a serum that wasn't been tested yet to test on the spirit who recently died in a gunfight, and so just to see if it works, and it proved that he did. And so Samuel Jackson put the thing on himself, but apparently the serum is not very stable, and they need the blood of Heracles to be able to stable it. And then the spirit was able to convince Place de Paris that he's in love with her, and she helps him free him, and they both escape, and then she stabs him, and then suddenly and then he goes to the dock, falls into the water, and meets Lorelei, who is basically death. And he kisses her, and then it's like, every relation we ever have, he's like, no, I got something else to do. And she's like, no, but I'll get you one day. Come back to me, my darling. And then suddenly he's swimming around different women he met throughout the entire movie. It's really weird. He comes back to life, and then they find him, heal him. Turns out he no longer has healing powers, which I still don't get. And then at one point, he says, somebody better give me a tie, and it should be red. Wait, no, it's the other one. Someone give me a tie, it better be red, which I love that line. And then there was a fight between Samuel Jackson and the spirit and Sans Seraph, and they were to kill the octopus, and that's when he also reveals why he's called the octopus. They blow him up. Sans Seraph covers them with the golden fleece, which she did get. Sequel hook. Spirit kisses Sans Seraph, meets and convinced her like she's the only one for him. And then apparently the spirit also wants to fuck the city. John Constantine kind of beat him to it by literally fucking the spirit of LA. And they never named the city. So, how long has it been? And that's my version of events. Yeah. I think I spoke too fast. This is gonna be a lot of editing. because it's awkward. Frank Miller is a genius. I'll give him that. I love it when he uses a genius phase for dark, gritty stories. Just as 300. I love 300. I love it. I love the killing joke. I love the fact that every time Frank Miller does a movie, he has to do the exact same pose with capes of a main character jumping down the building. I just find it awesome. This is not one of those films. This film is so damn confused. It doesn't know what it wants to be. Frank Miller, I'm going to have to quote Nostalgia Critic on this, in that Frank Miller was basically acting like a young child who thought farts would be funny. The cast obviously is given the role, and obviously having a lot of fun with this script, but the script itself is not very good. And I get it. The spirit from the 40s, it was good for its time, and yes, we'll probably do it for another one, but I think we need a real kind of serious spirit movie. And I think it's trying to capture also the spirit of a film from the 90s called Dick Tracy, which also was based on a 40s comic. But the thing is, that was not... Audiences didn't like it when it came out, so why would they try the same thing with the spirit? Do you think they can do it better? Because it's like, oh, we're not Disney, we can get away with a lot more things. The thing is, they didn't. They still acted like Disney's watching over their heads.
Exactly, yeah, keep going.
And they could have done a lot more with it. They could have gone grittier with it. Not like Sin City. This one tried to be the spirit. The spirit tried to be Dick Tracy mixed with Sin City.
Exactly, yeah.
And those two are the total opposites of each other
So
when it comes to noir.
Did we get through the whole plot?
I just did.
Yay.
I just giving my thoughts.
You know what this plot did to me, Bruno?
Broke you? What did it do?
It did this. That's what it did to me.
Turn that off. I'm gonna get in so much trouble because of that.
No, but seriously, that fucked me, so... I sat in the bathroom for 5 minutes on that joke. That was my bit.
I gotta admit, that was something I never seen coming. Sorry, I had that in my head all day, and I love it. But yeah, it... You have 3 seconds. 1, 2. Okay, Matt.
I'm sorry. I know you can only use like 1 second from it, but it was well worth it. Anyways, no, but seriously, like this movie...
It tried to combine, like I said, Dick Tracy and Sin City, and those two are the opposite of each other when it comes to noir. Sin City is a film that does the more heavy, gritty, dark noir that you probably see more in comics nowadays. Dick Tracy is a noir that it's something from his own time period, but but similar to Roger Rabbit, except with the cartoon characters.
Exactly, yeah.
You can't combine the two and not get a result like The Spirit. The Spirit is going to end up being one or the other when it comes to the scenes.
Well, you probably could combine the two if you were very cautious behind the idea of it in actuality. I feel like you could actually really make that work and really have a fundamental basis for a good movie. The problem is that they went in my opinion, is that they went into it looking at it as a way to
Make money?
Make money, but also just as a way of, oh look, we got these big names. Samuel L. Jackson was a big name at the time.
He still is.
He still is, obviously. The guy from Suits, who I don't know his name now, was a big name at that time. ScarJo was really still... she had a pretty big name by then already, because she was in a couple of movies.
She was I think it was... She had a pretty big name. It was just... She became a bigger name once the Avengers came around.
Yeah.
Until then, I think she was known as a teen star, and then she's just growing into her own.
Exactly. By the way, ScarJo does some amazing indie movies.
Yeah, she did.
I watched one where she was an alien. She would seduce men and take her to her van, which was actually a thing that would expand, and had expanded inside. It's like the what is it called from Doctor Who? The phone box.
TARDIS.
The TARDIS.
Time and relative dimension in space.
Cool. I didn't ask for that.
Whatever.
It's a lot like the TARDIS, so it has an expanded inside. And the men would be so focused on her and her amazing beauty, and they would go and they would strip naked. This is an actual movie, by the way. I'm not making shit up. They would strip naked and they would walk and they would slowly sink into the floor, and then by the time they figured out what was happening, they would have sunken all the way into the floor, and then they would have all the meat sucked out of them at once, and you could see like their skin goes into like a paper type of mold, and literally this motion with the hands and everything, and they grind up the meat. Anyways, it's about her. I don't want to give away too much of it, but it's about her doing that, and a lot more. But you should go and you should watch the movie as soon as I remember what the movie is. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is Scarlett Johansson has done a lot of great stuff, and all these people have done a lot of great things. So the fact that this was the script and everything that was decided is actually pretty amazing on its own right. Not amazing in a good way, but just flabbergasting.
It's amazing that they got so many big names in this, because there are times that, yes, even great scripts can get rejected by the greatest actors of all time, because they're like, oh, I'll never catch on. Like, we have many people do that. But this one, I'm just wondering, unless they're, so needed of money, or, the agents are saying, okay, you can have this, or you can have The Room. It's kind of like trying to compare the two when it comes to, which one you'd rather be in. And I know it's two different companies, but that's the best way I can describe it.
Under the Skin. Sorry, I was legitimately Under the Skin. What's the movie I was talking about?
Okay.
My apologies. I know I derailed it yet again. So Xenu was their god thing, and...
Okay, moving on!
Anyways.
Oh my god, I had to wait 30 minutes for him to stop. I'm serious. Oh my god. Hey, what's with you in Scientology, man? Anyway.
And not with Scientology, it's Xenu.
What's next? Cthulhu's gonna come?
Why would you insult?
That would have been a better plot in his spirit. Suddenly you just see Cthulhu and it makes sense because the octopus. Oh my god. Anyway, but I do like the design of the city.
See, that's the thing that sucks is actually when you get to
it's filmed really good.
Yeah, and it's very quirky and what's the word I'm looking for? Not
eccentric. Eccentric?
No, not eccentric.
Frank Miller.
No, what I'm looking for is
Say out a reverb.
It's very
original.
Yeah. Artistically original when it comes to each set, though. Like, each set, it's its own piece of art, and it's actually really cool.
Yeah, but the one thing I do have a problem with is there's too much brown. Like, what it might...
I know, and
it's like the black and white world, like, it seems that you're trying to give a bit of color to it, but the thing, like Sin City, but the thing is the color in Sin City supposed to signify something. And I am quoting a nostalgia critic on this because I do agree with him on this. Like, but here, they put random splashes of color throughout the film, even if they're kids. It feels as if like they're looking back in time.
Oh yeah, that's when it's like the most brown and everything too.
I think there is like supposed to be a flashback. You're like,
and
now how like filters like, oh, it's like golden or brown, like, oh, the good old days.
Yeah, but it just looks, it's not golden and brown, it just looks brown, and you sit there and you're like,
maybe like it takes place at night.
Put it on the screen, man.
Yeah, and then also have a problem with is that we don't know what the time period is of the film either. So the kids are dressed like in late 90s, early 2000 clothing, but all the adults are dressed in 1940s clothing.
Yeah, it's really weird. The kids are going to see the Cheetah Girls, meanwhile the adults are going to see Frank Sinatra.
Is that what they were saying in the theater?
No, I'm saying like they were dressed like they're going to go see the Cheetah Girls, meanwhile the adults are sitting there watching Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin in the nightclub.
Yeah, it's just so weird. And the music the music itself, like, I totally don't know the theme. I don't know. I don't remember. Apparently there was a theme and I don't know it. I don't know anything on the music. It was so that forgettable. It was so generic, like as if it was trying to be, like, again, a film noir superhero movie, but it was so generic, I honestly don't remember it.
Let me see if I can find the theme.
Like, even if, like, the more memorable of themes that I can come up with would be the Avengers, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, the 1989 version, Persona 5 with The Last Surprise. I've been on a Persona kick lately. And as well as the Birdsong theme from BioShock Infinite. That one I can clearly remember. But this one, I can't. With this film, I don't remember any of the music.
Neither can I. I legitimately, I don't remember one piece of music from it.
Yeah, and that's what sums up this film. You can remember the visuals.
I didn't mean to start that, I'm sorry. I legitimately didn't mean to start that. I'm like going through trying to see it because it said it was on here, but it's not.
But that's, I think, what overall this film is. It is completely forgettable. Even like what I did in my speed run on the plot, I probably forgot in different parts of the plot because, to be honest, it didn't fit the story. I actually probably jumped through the timeline just to make sure I can able to understand the story, and even then I don't understand it to a point that I am forgetting what the main goal of the entire film was. And that's what sums it up. It's a forgettable, bad superhero noir film. I mean, I'm not saying don't check it out if you want to understand the insanity of it. That's the one. It's also very insane. But keep in mind that this is what, from one of the strangest and brilliant minds of Frank Miller.
What's weird about it also is I'm going through right now, I'm trying to find it, but like, all the posters are like colored.
Yeah, let me see.
A shit ton of, like, look at that.
I'll show you on the screen soon. Okay, that reminds me of Murder's Soul Suspect.
Don't bring up a bad game like that.
I have yet to play it, I'm interested.
Yeah. But like, look at that. That's all color right there. Like, you never get to... What the heck?
Who is that?
Who?
Oh wait, that's Lorelai. See how forgettable this is.
But then you get to like this and...
It's all gray and not colored.
Yeah, like that's how we saw the movie right here.
Yeah. I will show pictures shown here.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's my overall feeling of the film. It is insane, but generic and forgettable.
I believe the term you're looking for is insanely generic and forgettable.
There you go.
I mean, like literally, you're sitting there, you're watching it, and you're like, okay, this could happen. The only thing that threw me for a loop was Nazi L. Jackson.
Yeah, that actually made our jaws drop and laugh insanely.
I was laughing so hard in that chair. Our mom like came downstairs. You didn't get to see. Mom slowly like crept downstairs and literally she goes like this. She goes.
She probably thought he developed asthma and was having an asthma attack. Because that's how hard and long that he was laughing.
Exactly. I was laughing so hard.
You were laughing harder than the first fight scene with the mud.
That scene was also ridiculous when he gets hit in the nuts with, what was that, a gravestone?
It was a wrench.
Oh yeah,
it was a giant wrench that they came from the ground.
Oh yeah, because we made a BioShock joke. I was like, what? And then I realized it was
Jack
a wrench.
would love, like Jack from BioShock would have loved it.
He would have been like, I think this is the one for me.
And just walks up and beat Andrew Ryan with it.
She walks away. Everybody wants to be a cat.
No, she's right here. Kiku's our dog, not our cat, but she has cat-like personality.
But yeah, so I know I walked away for half of it, which is gonna make people upset. But we originally recorded it on her phone, and it was utterly insane what we were doing and everything.
Yeah,
could not follow it at all. And we ended up we couldn't.
I couldn't download it onto my computer, so
I was so hoping we could, because I would be laughing so hard.
Yeah, but for some reason, the file that it was in on my phone was way too big to be downloaded, and my computer refuses. So this is our take 2. And you have any final thoughts? Because I think I'm wrapping it up. What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I think that the film is very generic, very basic, and I'm just going through and I'm looking at pictures real fast to see if I can remember anything from it at this point. But I cannot remember anything else from it.
Yeah. We can remember what happens more in the room. And that movie is a movie...
That movie is a beautiful movie.
It is a movie, but if you think about it, like, basically nothing happens besides an affair and Johnny finding out. That's literally all that happens.
Excuse me. She's tearing his life apart. Lisa is tearing his life apart.
But he doesn't find out till halfway through the film or have suspicions. That is a review on its own.
That's right. That's a review on its own.
And we're doing that before you leave.
And if you want us to do that, you must give us at least 10 likes. And in the comments, I want you to say the following things. Tutti frutti.
And have a good night, troublemakers.
Puppy.